Hello and welcome back to my Read Aloud channel and the beginning, the intro, the commentary in my Bible um, of First Samuel, the book of First Samuel. So I just started in my last video, and I think because I was kind of just catching the channel up to speed with kind of what is going to be my focus. And uh, after having to abruptly stop reading the book Soul Talk by Larry Crabb for the last few months, and so I am now wanting to just get into the book of Samuel, which I actually started reading myself in my time with God, and just today. So this will be good that we get to start a book together. And I can go over it as well as read you the intro commentary, which is where I'm at. The books commonly known as 1st and 2nd Samuel and 1st and 2nd Kings are really one long book. They were separated due to the length of ancient scrolls. Beginning with Samuel, the last of the judges, this book describes what happened in the days of the kings who ruled first the whole nation and then the divided kingdoms of Israel and Judah. The reigns of Samuel and David are described in detail. The repeating structure within the book tells how old a king was when he came to the throne, where and for how long he ruled, and something about his character and the notable events of his reign. Some traditions call this book the Book of Reigns. Reigns. Beneath this pattern of historical succession, however, another rhythm can be discerned. Saul, the first king, does not follow God faithfully, and God announces he will seek a man after his own heart to rule Israel. God finds this person in David. He puts him on the throne, promising that his descendants will always rule Israel if they continue to serve him. Unfortunately, the kings after David are not committed to following God's way. Many of them abandon God and lead the people to do the same, although a few of them call the people back to obedience. Using David's wholehearted dedication to the Lord as its standard, the book of Samuel through Kings traces the tragic wavering of the people's devotion to God. Their covenant failure leads the nation first being divided and then later conquered by the powerful empires of the East. The book of Reigns, quote, is therefore a tragic closing of the whole covenant history that began in Genesis. Just as the first humans were exiled from God's garden, now Israel is sent out of the new Eden, in quotes, God intended in the promised land. Land and temple have been lost in the darkness of judgment, and only a flickering light remains. The deeper purpose of God for Israel, to bring blessing and restoration to the nations, seems to have been frustrated, but hope remains alive in God's promise to bring a descendant of David back to the throne. Ooh, wow. That was a good commentary, wasn't it? I thought so. I mean, I would just really, and even though it's in this, kind of, I don't know if you would call it the word is escaping me, the shrouded book of the Old Testament. It's kind of hidden back here. You don't read it very often or hear about it much, right? It's talking, at its introduction about the king coming back to the throne, a descendant of David. And I think we know who that is if you've been listening for very long. Yeah, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how this story builds. The first chapter will be for my next video, though.